Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So you find me in the Macan. As you've probably seen the title of this video, I've just collected the car from a Porsche specialist and I've just paid a lot of money to get it fixed. A lot more than I was expecting to pay, let's say. Now, the place was in Leeds, which is in North Yorkshire, and I'm heading back home, but instead of going along the boring motorways, I decided I would come through the Peak District, which is this beautiful place you find me in now. Got a little bit, I won't say lost, but well, yeah, I got a little bit lost, and I'm on this single track road right now. It's not, I don't think I'm that lost though. So the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to tell you the story of what happened, and also the moral of the story. You know, there's a couple, but the main one is never buy a car in a hurry when you're in a hurry, because you end up buying a car that you shouldn't have, really. So anyway, 2 years ago, I buy this car, Macan GTS 2017. I had a very specific spec in mind. I wanted air suspension, I wanted sport chrono, I wanted panoramic sunroof, I wanted sport exhaust, I wanted most of, if not all of, all the gear. So this car had everything I wanted and more. I had a few things on here that I didn't necessarily think about, but I was really happy. I liked the colour. So I went to see it in Stratford, which is William Shakespeare country, actually. And anyway, I went down there to test drive it, and I drove it. I really liked it. Like I said, it seemed to have everything I wanted. It didn't have Apple CarPlay, strangely. I thought it did initially, but it didn't. But on the test drive, as I was heading back to the dealer, I had the window down, and when I was taking my foot off the accelerator, I could hear this noise coming from the engine, like a rattly sound, like a tapping sound. There's a sheep in the road here. I go back to the dealer, I say, I point this out. It's very subtle. I point it out, and he says, oh yeah. He says, he went and get someone else come out, probably the mechanic or whatever, I don't know. He says, oh yeah, that's normal. That's the direct injection. It's a little bit noisy on these cars. And I was like, not sure about that. So I said, right, well, I'll only buy it if you get it inspected. I want it inspected by Porsche, and if they say it's okay, then I'll buy it. There's another sheep. So they couldn't get it in time. And like I said, I was in a hurry to buy this car. I was heading back to Italy, was driving. Couldn't get it in Porsche for 3 weeks, so I went on the Porsche forum that I go on frequently, and I asked people in that area, because it's not an area where I live, Stratford. I said, does anybody know the best independent Porsche specialist in the area? So a load of people put down their preferences, and the majority of people said this one company, Zuffenhaus. So I asked Stratford JMC, I think they were called, and I said, get it booked in there. So they said, okay. So they get it booked in, and they come back. They did a full service as well, because it needed a service. They come, but I didn't get any report. So I phoned them up and I said, you know, what's the deal with the noise? And they said, well, we didn't find any noise. So, you know, the car's normal. We serviced it. Everything's good. So I thought, okay, great. So I bought the car. And I've driven it, and I've enjoyed the car, and I've driven it, you know, I've done like 4 or 5 Italy road trips in it, and it's never missed a beat. But that noise was always there, and in the last 6 months, the noise has gotten noisier and noisier. So anyway, we get to May this year, 2024, I take the car to Tech 9 to get an MOT, because I'm going to Italy yet again. And when I go to pick it up, the guy says, he drives it from the MOT place, and he says, what's this noise? And I said, oh no, yeah. He says it's the timing chain. So I thought, oh great. So now I've got to get the timing chain done. I still went on the trip to Italy. Can't ever miss a beat. So I shop around and I go to Revolution Porsche, which is in Leeds. And they gave me a very good quote of 2,700 to put a new timing chain on. Now I was very aware that, you know, when they strip down an engine, they're going to possibly find other things. So apprehensively, I said, okay, let's do it. I also wanted to have a full service because the service that Zuffenhaus did said annual service on the receipt. And now anyone who knows Porsches, modern Porsches from the 997 onwards, they have 2-year services, right? Intervals. So, and there's no such thing as an annual service for this Macan. I asked them, I want a full service. I want the PDK, oil change, you know, I want everything done. Brake fluid, you name it. And then we know where we are then. And the timing chain. So he says it's going to take 4 days. It's 2,700 for the timing chain. The rest of it, I think it was about 600 for everything else. So, okay, so on we go. I take the car in. So 2 days in of the 4 day that they said it was going to take, I get a phone call, which is never a good sign, right? It means they found something untoward. So he says we've stripped the front down. Actually, they sent me a video, so I'll play that for you now.
As you can see, we've got your timing chains off. While we've removed your timing chains, the actual variable cam sprockets are excessively worn. It's hard to get in the video. Can you just see here? They're very, very sharp. This is on all four in various spots. So basically, we need to replace all four variable valve pulleys. The reason for this is the sharpness of those will absolutely destroy the new roller bearings in the chains.
All of a sudden we've added on, and yeah, there's a considerable amount being added on there. So the revised, also they said that it needs a new water pump, and it needs new tensioners, some other things. So the bill was 2,700 plus 600 for the service, and now the bill is 6,200. So it's gone up. It's doubled the original cost. Now it's Friday. They've got to order parts, so I'm not going to get it back till the following week. So the following week comes along, the Tuesday, I get another phone call. So not a good sign again, right? So now, and another accompanying video. We found some other things, and I'll play that video for you now.
On your rear suspension, you can see that them level sensors are seized up to the point where the rod is actually bent, ready to break. So they need replacement. This is your offside, and this is your near side. You can see this one's a bit better, but also starting to seize up. So just next thing on your brake pads, if you look over here, you can see that the sensors are already touching the disc, so your warning might come up soon. It needs rear brake pads. Slight lip on the disc, we'll have to measure. It might need discs also. And then also front brake pads is at 5mm with a slight lip on the disc.
The discs were fine. It just needed new pads, front and rear. So now we get that and plus some other things. And now we get a revised bill, which is now 7,028, I think it was in total, the final bill, £7,000. So yeah, so that's, I've just collected the car from there and I'm heading back. Now the noise that the JMC Stratford said was direct injection, that noise is now completely gone. So that idea that there was some sort of noise coming from the direct injection, it certainly wasn't the noise that I could hear, because that noise is now completely gone. There is no noise that I can hear from this engine that makes any type of tapping sound. Now, am I saying that they deliberately misled me? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at the time, because the noise was so subtle, they may have believed at the time that it was the direct injection was making some sort of noise. now that I'm driving the car post timing chain replacement and all of those parts, I can say that there is no noise coming from the direct injection. So that idea was false. The moral of this story is never buy a car in a hurry, because you will overlook things that you would otherwise not overlook. That series of events, you know, the fact that I should have walked away, and if I hadn't been in a hurry, I probably would have walked away, right? But I did feel like I did my due diligence at the time, but clearly I did, you know, the people involved in that did not investigate the issue properly, and the result is the bill that I've just got from Revolution Porsche 2 years later. The tale is, if you go and look at a car and the car is not what you expect, if you find an issue, even if they give you an explanation for what that issue is, in my instance, there was something wrong with the car. So, and I've paid for it now, I've had to fix it. Now the good news is now I have a very good car, you know. The engine is sorted, I've had everything checked on it, it's had a proper major service, all of those works have been done, and the car feels a lot better. I'm really happy with it now. It's just that it should have been like that from the beginning, right? That's another thing, is if you're test driving a car, test drive a few, because then you get an idea if one is good or one is not good, because this was effectively the first one that I'd driven. I've driven a Macan before, but not this model. When I bought this as well, it was at the peak of car buying. Remember, post-COVID, when there was a shortage of cars, you couldn't get a new car from Porsche, and I paid top money for this car. So that makes it even worse for me that, you know, it's not like I got a good deal on it. I paid the going rate 2 years ago, which was the highest rate you could pay. It was at the peak of used car purchases. So, but anyway, learn something from my mistakes. At least then I can say that it hasn't been a complete waste. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, catch up with you soon. Welcome back to the 718 Spider, and this could be my last drive in this car.